What's up, guys? Welcome to Brick Productions, and today is part 5 of building Hoth. We are continuing on with this building series that has really been just a great experience so far, a really good progression. I'm having a lot of fun, and it seems like you guys are really enjoying the mock and wanting to see more progress with the mock and more updates. So I'm happy to bring part 5 to you guys because this should be a really big update, actually. I'm really hoping to get a base plate done. I don't think it's going to happen, but I really want that to be at least half of a base plate is kind of the plan. So I do plan on having a lot done in this episode, but we are starting to kind of get into the phase of almost completing this mock, really. There's really just a whole base plate left, and then really a base plate and a half left to add to the mock. We're almost done with this mock. I'm thinking maybe 2 to 3 more updates for this series. So without further ado, let me talk about what exactly I want to be adding into this new update, and that way you guys can get a better understanding of what I'm actually doing, and then we'll get on to building and then kind of taking an in-depth look at the new additions that I added. All right, so last episode we went from about here to here, so not a whole lot of progress, but I actually wanted to, this is pretty much where I wanted to get to last episode, because right here, starting from here over, is really just a whole different phase. So pretty much this was kind of just finishing off what I should have gotten done. I think it was like part 3 or something over here. So this is kind of continuing on in a new phase because we're getting onto the walker to actually kind of implementing this AT-AT walker into the Hoth mock. So I need to build around the feet, actually. And then, of course, the down ATST I want to have over there. That's a part of the next phase, pretty much. And, of course, this is a part of finishing this base plate. So basically, more of an in-depth kind of look of what I'm doing is probably in this episode, what I'd like to get to is at least I want to get to about here, get these front 2 feet into the mock, but I would really want to get this whole base plate done today. That'd be really nice to get that out of the way. I think that'd be a really good, goal milestone there, because it's basically getting half of a base plate done, which is big. And then if I get this half done, then that would leave pretty much just a base plate left to do. So if I really grind and go hard at it, I could probably get this whole base plate done, but it just depends on what comes up and all that. That's the plan, but I guess what we're gonna go ahead and do is get on to the time lapse of me building, and I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, so I think that's going to do it with building. I just finished the time lapse and pretty much what I could do with building. and I like where I got today. I didn't fully get this tiled in, but I'm okay with that because what happened was I ran out of parts. I ran out of tiles and 1x2 plates. I did get more. I've got about 500 more 1x2 white tiles, and then about 200 more 1x2 plates, and then also I got some more of the bigger plates as well to kind of fill this area in. But I'm happy where I got today with progress. So I just decided to stop and stop building, kind of save it for the next video really, because we're getting close to being finished here, guys. We're down to this half of a base plate and then this half of a base plate with all my parts on it. really getting to the end here, kind of entering the end game, if you will. I mean, we're almost done, but I mean, this is really starting to come together a lot. I'm really enjoying this mock now. It's really starting to, kind of look more complete, especially now that the AT-AT is somewhat in the mock, kind of halfway in the mock. I do have this foot implanted into the ground, and I know the time-lapse probably didn't show me doing a whole lot because I know you guys probably weren't able to see much exactly of what I was doing because a lot of your view was either blocked by this down ATST or blocked by the AT-AT legs. This is kind of a more in-depth look of what I added in. If you notice, I picked up some of the slopes, kind of that slope terrain technique back here. Here, this is just kind of a sample of what it's going to look like with the foot implanted. Now, it's not finished yet. I am going to put probably some more like loose parts around the leg, or foot rather, to make it look like there's just not like a random gaping hole there, to make it look like it's a part of the actual terrain. So I don't know what parts I'm going to use yet. I don't think I'm going to use the smoke pieces because the smoke pieces I feel like may look weird. So I might try to use a little bit more of like choppy pieces to make it look kind of blocked up almost. But if you notice here, I did use these kind of wedge slopes here to pretty much outline the foot. And it pretty much covers up most of the area. It's just really like this front area that you can kind of see in there. And I want to pretty much not have that visible. I want to make it look very natural, similar to how the snowspeeder is. Now, I did build around the ATST. The ATST is in the ground, and hell, I mean, for the most part, I don't really probably have to put a whole lot of loose parts around it. I mean, it looks pretty somewhat natural as it is. I mean, this looks a little squarey. Over here and stuff looks really good. So I'll probably put like some loose parts there, like in this area, and maybe around in this area. Probably will use the smoke pieces, but I'm very pleased on how this ATST turned out with the head. Now behind it, I'm going to put like some leg parts just kind of strewn about the battlefield behind the ATST. Really kind of make it look a little bit more war-torn than it is, because I mean right now the big thing that's really looking war-torn is kind of the snowspeeder crash into the ground. So I'd like to do somewhat a similar thing with the ATST over there, and also it's equal. I mean, you got a down Imperial vehicle over there, and you got a down Rebel vehicle over here. Now, the other snowspeeder I have built over there is just currently being, it's pretty much on hold to be added into the mock. I still plan on having it over here somewhere. That's somewhat of the plan. I'd like to have it flying over the communications array that I'm going to do over here. So, yeah. I also need to kind of detail inside this trench a little bit more with not the floor, but the ground, to make it look like distress, like there's a bunch of soldiers running around. And I also need to get probably some more rebels into that trench to kind of populate it more. So I'm planning on having about 2, possibly 3 more parts for this series. We're getting very close to the end. I would imagine the next part's going to be this half of this base plate, and then the part after that's going to be this half of this base plate, and then probably the turrets and stuff, and then the final part may be the actual communications array itself. That whole structure may have its own part, but I may incorporate it into the part after this one, potentially part 7 rather, but this could get up to a 8-part series. So anyways, that's going to do it, guys. Let me know what you think so far about the mock. I know there was a lot added in, really. I mean, we got the AT-AT pretty much into the mock. We got the ATST over there. I did scatter kind of the snowtroopers a little bit more. That way it's not so cluttered with snowtroopers everywhere, so they are a little bit more scattered. And I've got more to add in, actually. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think so far about the mock. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's Brick Productions, signing off.